Hi, welcome to AFN at the Movies. I'm Staff Sergeant Joseph Vigil.
And I'm Anna Allen. Before your movie begins, here's a look back at your stories that make up your community.
Kearney Park was crawling with zombies, princesses, and superheroes, and they'd stop at nothing until their craving was satisfied.
Petty Officer Joshua Nistus braved the sea of mini monsters to bring us this story.
Kearney Park is normally a peaceful place for fun and rest. But on one night out of the year, this dead volcano draws a variety of monsters with one thing on their mind.
We went trick-or-treating and we saw lots of scary monsters. Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat.
For families stationed in Naples, celebrating this traditional holiday in a unique location is the real treat.
Well, it brings a little piece of home when you're stationed overseas. It's something special that they will remember, yes. Being overseas and being able to go trick-or-treat in an instant volcano, that's not something you do every day.
Trick-or-treat!
Trick-or-treaters filled their bags full of candy, visited haunted cabins, and watched movies in the park, all in the spirit of Halloween. Petty Officer Joshua Nistus, Naples, Italy.
Kearney Park was just one of the places families went for Halloween for Good Fright Fest.
That's right, and most people enjoyed a good scare this Halloween, but the Seabees, they built something so horrifying, there was no way I was going in. But you went in. You covered the story, right?
I did, and man, I strapped this camera on this poor guy that went through it. Oh, he was so scared. I mean, the face that I captured, you gotta see it. Take a look. Navy Seabees are known for their can-do skill of building pretty much anything. And when you give them a tent, a few pieces of plywood, and a saw, their skills can get a little scary.
Right now we're setting up the haunted house. It's an annual thing that we like to do for the community. Get the community involved and kind of give back to them.
While most of the Halloween activities take place at Kearney Park, the Seabees offer a horrifying time closer to home on the support site.
We try to provide them something here where they live. You know, they can walk, they can bring their family.
Seabee volunteers try to make it scary enough to raise the dead, but also to raise something else.
We want to have fun with the community and also at the same time fundraise for the CB Association.
Some of the funds raised are donated to local national charities. Community members inside and outside the gates enjoy having a few bucks scared out of them.
Everywhere, monsters everywhere. Everywhere I screamed, "Ah!" This is the scariest haunted house in the world.
And by the look on his face, these Seabees are building a reputation as fright masters right in your backyard. Air Force Sergeant Joseph Vigil, Naples, Italy.
Wow, that scream, we are still talking about that in the office. That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, it was a fight or flight situation. That guy was so scared, he just jetted right out of that tent.
Yep, and I bet you he would have done pretty well at that race in downtown Naples in early October. I wonder if he went out for that.
I'm not sure, but actually we had our very own Petty Officer Omar Dominguez out there, and you know, he's going to tell us a little bit about what possessed NSA Naples to get out there early on a weekend and run through downtown Naples dressed in pink.
More than 10,000 military members and local nationals gathered during the breast cancer awareness Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure.
This is a very special opportunity that we have to reach out to women and educate them about the importance of early detection, and also raising money to start new projects in the fight against breast cancer in Italy.
Italy was the first international country to partner with the Susan G. Komen organization.
It's now 12 years that we are working together. We started 4 races in Italy. Most important one is in Rome, where we have 53,000 participants. And then little by little we started in Bari, in Bologna, and now since 2 years in Naples. And in all of these cities, the project has developed very successfully, and I think we are giving a good contribution to advance the fight against breast cancer.
The fight against breast cancer will continue in Italy with the support of the military community.
It's a pleasure for us to be here in Naples. What a beautiful day, a beautiful city to be running in this race for the cure. It's just an amazing experience with a lot of our folks here from our Navy community, from our NATO community, and from our wonderful host nation here in Italy. What a great crowd here, just running along the waterfront. thinking about what the money that we raise for will go to a magnificent cause it certainly is a worldwide problem, and we need to find a cure for it as soon as possible.
While different nationalities gathered in downtown Naples, the mission of each individual was the same: to bring awareness for the fight against breast cancer and continue raising money for the cure. Petty Officer Omar Dominguez, Naples, Italy.
Joe, you come from a Hispanic background, right?
Yeah, actually I grew up in a Mexican restaurant.
Did you?
I did.
Okay, so then you understand that food isn't just food in a Hispanic home, it's much more than that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a chance for us to pass down our traditions through food. I mean, my grandmother taught me traditional recipes that her grandmother taught her, and now I get to share that with my kids, you know, and that's why you're gonna love this next story, actually. Petty Officer Zelona Sotelo introduces us to someone right here in our own neighborhood who's got a taste for tradition, and there's plenty to go around.
One part family, one part tradition, and one part love. These aren't your usual cooking ingredients, but to Natalie Oakes, without them, she would have an incomplete recipe.
To me, the connection for our heritage in food is the way we not necessarily revolve around it in an unhealthy way. We revolve around it in a celebratory way. I think it always revolves around food and celebrating with food and family.
One way of maintaining that connection to her heritage is through cooking and the realization that the Hispanic community is a melting pot filled with a vast mixture of people.
We're very, very many different flavors in the entire Hispanic world. We are so many. We have so much to offer, and I want them to understand that that is expressed in the different types of food that we cook. That's what keeps us different, but that's what keeps us the same.
Those flavors are not only within the community, but the simple things that represent a culture, like the significance of family traditions.
I think as Americanized as I've become, it hasn't changed the fact that my roots and my foundation are Hispanic. We love hard, we live hard. I expect huge things of my family, and I think that's just part of our Hispanic culture.
Petty Officer Zelona Sotelo, Naples, Italy.
That story so reminds me of my mom's Mexican home cooking, and after a meal like that, well, naturally, it's time for dessert.
Oh, well, then you're gonna love this next story, because right outside the movie theater next to the bookstore, there's an Italian family who's serving up a classic Italian recipe. The ice cream shop at the Naples Navy Exchange replaced their American-style scoops of sweetness for a more cultural flavor. The hands behind the counter do more than just serve up Italy's dolce desserts.
I came here in August and I made the cakes, American cakes, with the ice cream. So now we have ice cream, Italian ice cream, and it's easier to make ice cream cakes with Italian ice cream than with American ice cream.
Rafaela said since American ice cream has water in it, it freezes and is hard to be creative with. The differences are seen not just in the way it is made, but also how it is served.
You make scoop. We don't make scoop. It's gelato, it's medium cone. So it's hard to explain the difference between scoops and our gelato.
Her father, Chiro, knows that while only having a few weeks of experience, Rafaela's gelato making skills may not be perfect.
If I made a mistake, I'm not so scared about it, because I told him, okay, Daddy, I make a mistake, sorry. Okay, it's not a problem, you can do it another time, don't worry, that's why.
It's a family business that serves families homemade gelato without having to travel too far from home. Air Force Sergeant Joseph Vigil, Naples, Italy.
Yeah, let's wrap this thing up so I can get me some of that strawberry gelato. That looked amazing.
Oh, it was, definitely. I'm right there with you. Well, that does it for this edition of AFN at the Movies.
Join us again next time for another look back at your stories that make up your community.
Thanks for watching.
I don't know how you did that. You did that story without eating and gorging yourself?
Yeah, that was delicious.